right, folks, welcome back. We're ready to rock and roll. I've been off for a little while, so we're good to be back. Hey, you know what this deserves? We're back. It's good to be back.
It's been a little over a week maybe since we're on CTV.
We were last on Thursday, and now it's Wednesday. What day? What's today's date? The 20th.
Right.
Got to shout out someone. It's my mom's birthday today. Happy birthday, Mom. Yeah.
Give another applause.
Give another applause. Yep. I was just home for the weekend and couldn't stay until Wednesday, of course, but had to give Mom the shout out on the CTV. So good to give those shout outs once in a while. But let's talk about what we're going to discuss here today on Storm Team 5 Plus. So we're actually entering meteorological fall and ending meteorological winter. Just kind of giving you like the synopsis on that, if you will. Weather data goes in 3-month chunks. So it's December, January, February is meteorological winter. March, April, May is meteorological spring. June, July, August is summer. And then September, October, November is your meteorological fall. So that actually starts in a few days. But we're going to get a little taste of fall here in the short term that we'll talk about in our little regional weather update. National weather update will really be about the hurricane, Hurricane Erin, that is churning up going up the Atlantic. Not making any landfall, but certainly bringing in some impacts up and down the eastern seaboard. And then we'll do a little off the radar segment. Nathan was coming up with some content a little bit ago based off of my vacation back home I was just on. So I'm excited to get into that one. But let's talk about meteorological fall here. And we're going to get a little taste of that coming up in the next few days, huh?
Yeah, I cannot wait for it. I started watching horror movies last night. I started the first Conjuring again. It's close to spooky season. It can't come fast enough.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure. This is the August outlook?
Yes, that is the August outlook. Not sure why that one's selected.
Yeah, let's go with the next one. Okay, here we go.
There we go.
8, this is the 8 to 14 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, and that's already kind of pinpointing that we'll see some below average temperatures August 27th through about the September 2nd. So that's the end of August into the start of September, and it's really bullseyed over the Mississippi River Valley, even over the Great Lakes, and into stretching into the Northeast, down into even just north of Texas. We're going to see some below average temperatures kick in here in the short term, and it's going to be that's for us is in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, that's a lot cooler, and I feel like here we go. The 6 to 10 day outlook. That's a dark blue. That's purple.
Yeah,
that's purple.
And it's even shorter than that. So like the 25th, the 29th, most of our days are going to be dropping below average. Right. And I can already see the pumpkin spice lattes. Your hot coffees, your apple cider donuts. Not yet apple cider donuts,
I got
unfortunately.
a little taste of it this morning. I was walking around the house, and I go into the bathroom where we have like one of our wax melters.
Yep.
And I smell like pumpkin, and I'm like, what is that smell?
Yep.
My girlfriend put a pumpkin and maple syrup wax melt in this morning. And I was like, this smells so good. It was really nice.
Girlfriend had a really good idea on that one.
Yeah, and
that's why she's a keeper.
It feels like it's fall. You know, I'm like, I can't wait for it, and it's still August. Yeah. We have some summer left.
We have plenty of summer left to go. We can still see highs in the 70s and 80s into September, even into the 90s as well. So, but we're gonna start to see these, fluctuations where we'll get a little taste, then we're back to summer, then we'll get a little taste. So these tastes of autumn are going to become a little bit more noticeable in September, because that really is our transition month from summer to fall. So we get those pretty wacky temperature variations here this month. So, it's a little bit of a roller coaster ride. So on our 7-day or 10-day temperature trend, you'll see it, we'll go up and then we'll go down. Then we'll go up again and then we'll go down. So just got to get used to it. Just got to buckle up and enjoy the ride, right?
This is... What hurts me is that sunset time before 7:30, and that's less than 2 weeks away. That daylight is
you had to drop that on me.
Yeah, just bad news,
You're bad news.
It's like good cop, bad cop, but you're like good news, I'll be bad news.
Yeah.
So everything that's just
what does this one deserve?
Then we have the trombone. It's like wah wah. Do we have that?
Yeah, that's him right now. Our average temperature is going to be 70 degrees, and What? Wait, average. Is that our
So that's
average?
for September 1st. That's the average temperature for Green Bay on September 1st.
Is that our like? That's not our average high because our average high is still in the upper 70s. It's still about 78.
Yes, it is. Or that I think that's holding it for the month of September.
Oh,
right.
okay.
Yeah, so
So
when
that's
we
our-
go into September.
Okay, so our average temperature, you take all the
Right, I
highs
should have
out.
wrote monthly temperature.
Okay,
yeah,
I was a little
yeah.
confused. So yeah, so 70 degrees is our average temperature when you take all the highs, the lows, and average it in
Right.
between. Okay, because our average high is still in the upper 70s.
Yeah.
Through much of the month, and then we drop into the mid 70s
Right.
for the end of the month. So we can still see 70s, and it's pretty typical.
Yep.
But that sunset is what we want to really focus on. 7:27 for a sunset is only 12 days away. That's brutal. I don't know why
It was a fast summer.
That was just
September.
something like that.
12 days away is just like you said.
Yeah.
Boom! It seems really fast.
But at least we have football coming back
Right.
into the picture, and we'll discuss it a little later in the show.
Right.
But here's a live look into the Stadium District, where I don't know, it looks like a pretty typical football day at Lambeau. Cloudy skies, 70 degrees or just a notch below it, east wind light at 3 miles per hour. It's looking like football is going to be played, and obviously we have that coming up on Saturday with the preseason game at 3. It should be a little bit better than what we see right now, but the Seahawks are flying in. I think I saw their plan's going to land at Austin Straubel at 3:30 roughly.
Because I think they have a joint practice tomorrow.
They have a joint practice tomorrow, so should be pretty good for that tomorrow. Should be a little bit warmer than the reason why we're so cool today is because of the clouds. Clouds are a limiting factor on temperatures, so we're only in the 70s. For a few locales, 74 is the warm spot. Wapaka, 60s for most of us. The clouds really limit how much we can warm up, but it's not doing much for our dew points. Still in the muggy category, 60s, lower to middle 60s. So it's still touch humid, but nothing too sweltering. Were you guys in the 60s to around 70 this weekend for dew points?
Over the weekend, I think we were mid to upper 60s.
Okay.
If I remember right. I know yesterday we were, mid to upper 60s
Yeah.
again there.
I'll be honest, I was out at an event yesterday and they were asking me, are we seeing rain tonight? I was like, I don't know. I haven't been here. I was not looking at the forecast at all. Taking a little mental detox.
You need it, yeah.
Yeah.
Some beach time. I said you were on island time this morning.
Yeah, he's that one. I will give you a little applause. That you deserve that one. When we had all that severe thunderstorms on Saturday, I was at the beach and I kept seeing all of the warnings, and I was like, I got the life right now. I tell you, I got a little bit of a nose burn.
It was a stressful few hours because while all that was happening, the Packers were also playing for that game, and it was not a fun one to watch. Still, I mean, we won, but I wouldn't say we won. Maybe the Colts lost. I don't want to say we won. Yeah, but
the Colts just did Colts type things.
right,
yeah,
right.
But temperature change over the last 24. We're running a few degrees cooler, 1 to 5 or 6 degrees cooler. Dew points a little bit better. We're improving. We will see an improvement on those dew points. Saturday going into Sundays, that's when it really gets pretty nice around here. We get very cool and crisp air is what we're calling it from Canada. So while Canada's been plaguing us with wildfire smoke, they're going to give us a pretty nice end of the weekend, the start of next week if you want fall-like weather. Cloud coverage, you can see we're trying to break up these clouds just a little bit. It's slowly but surely, I know from experience, models don't do a great job at showing cloud erosion or getting rid of the clouds. It's going to take a little bit longer than what models expect. So I think we'll be cloudy for the afternoon. I think we'll start to notice more and more of this cloud deck eroding as we head into the evening hours. So 5, 6 o'clock, we should get into a little bit of sunshine. But how I described it at noon was too little, too late. Our peak heating
That's a
is
good way to put it. Yeah, too little, too late.
Our peak heating is now until about 5 o'clock in the afternoon or into the evening. And when we're just cloudy, can't really warm up very much. You'll see tomorrow a little bit of a different forecast. So I have us on the cooler side of average today. Temperatures should manage, somewhere in the lower to middle 70s. Dew point temperatures, not much change there. We'll be in the muggy lower to middle 60s throughout the day. And it just stays like that as we head into tomorrow. High temperatures, lower to middle 70s, about 76 in Wapaka. The model had 77 at I think that's a little aggressive. I think we could see, I think 76 is more realistic. 72 in Manitowoc, 72 in Antigo, and about 76 Watoma, mostly cloudy, touch humid, all that kind of stuff. Almanac today, you can see for Green Bay running a few degrees below our average. 97 for a record high back in 1955. I know some people would like that, other people would not. So I'm not going to voice my opinion on that. I think this is okay.
I'll voice my opinion. That's too hot. I don't like it.
Okay, so. He's a little boring. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can see here on Futurecast, not much happening out there in the short term. We might generate some fog tonight as we cool the air, condense the air. We could form some fog overnight tonight, but overall, we should be looking at a pretty nice day tomorrow with a nice mixture of sunshine and clouds. We had a chance for a spotty shower earlier today. I think that chance is pretty low. But overall, we're looking pretty dry today. Here's that dew point trend. Still in the 60s for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. How about dew points falling into the 40s for Saturday, Sunday, even maybe the low 50s on Monday? But dew points in the 30s and 40s for Tuesday and Wednesday. That is autumn-like air if I've ever seen it. I wasn't able to grab our low temperatures, but starting Sunday,
right,
our lows will fall into the 50s and 40s. So you're gonna need the sweater out the door. My
sweater
sweatshirt.
Weather.
Sweater weather.
Sweater
that,
weather.
That commercial. Sweater weather.
Sweater
Sweater weather. Yeah, they're gonna be using it. I'll be using mine. All right. At least what's nice is when I walk in, I have like a long sleeve shirt on, so it's helpful. Yeah. You might have to bring your sweaters out, but
yeah,
I think maybe
one of those people who like wore shorts and t-shirt in the middle of winter. I never understood that.
I don't get it.
It's cold. Go put some pants on. Put on a sweatshirt. What do we do?
Put your pants on.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy work. But I can already see the commercial back. Sweater weather.
Sweater weather.
I love it. Temperature trend over the next 10. You can see in the 70s for a run of days, and then look at the highs. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, upper 60s and low 70s. Are you kidding me?
Sweater weather.
Sweater weather. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a change of pace. I think I'm going to go back and look as to the last time we had highs in the 60s. It's been a little while. I think we had one day this summer where it was just rainy and cool and we weren't able to crack the 70-degree mark. So I think there has been a day or two where we were in the 60s, but I think most of our days have been in the 70s. So I want to see how long it's been. That'll be something I'll put together for noon. Or for 4 o'clock.
Like mid-June, and I can't really think of any days in the 60s. Not that I remember, at least. So
yeah, but tomorrow, high school football's back, week 1.
Yeah,
it's
fast. It's a nice day for it too.
Yeah, it'll be a nice day tomorrow. The bulk of the games though are on Fridays.
Okay.
That's something when you do the Friday nights or Friday at noon and 4. That's an easy thing to put into your show is put in this high school football graphic. Yeah, it's looking like I have a pretty nice day for the early games on Thursday. 7 p.m. kickoff, though, 74. Halftime, 70 degrees, 67 for the end of the game. So I don't think we'll be in that sweatshirt weather just yet. If you had games on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, that would be a different story.
Right.
But overall, looking like a pretty nice day for some football tomorrow. Rain chances over the next 3 days, well, we're dry Wednesday, we're dry Thursday, dry Friday for the most part. If you are going out to some of the games on Friday, I would be keeping your eye to the sky, especially into the Northwoods. We'll have a weak disturbance track through. We could see a very isolated thunder shower, especially up into the Northwoods. But I think most of us see some pretty dry conditions. I think we're dry on Saturday, dry Sunday, dry Monday. So really not much on the offering of rain here over the next really week stretch. So I'll take it. Packers game on Saturday, not looking too bad. Breezy, 76. So hopefully, still Brandon McManus is the kicker, right?
Yep.
Jason Myers, I think, is the kicker for the Seahawks. Hopefully they can deal with a little bit of a wind factor on Saturday. Mostly cloudy on Sunday, 68. Cool like autumn is what Jordan put on the 7-day this morning. I didn't change it.
Autumn.
67 on Monday and about 71 on Tuesday. So that's really our little regional weather updates. We will send it over to break, and then we'll talk about Hurricane Aaron, and then we'll do a little bit of our off. All right, let's get a little national weather update for you. Most of that is going to be focused on Hurricane Aaron. Now, it's not really, impacting us. I mean, if a hurricane impacted us here in northeast Wisconsin, I would be very, very, very shocked.
That would be an animal. That's a new type of storm if that's gonna severely impact us. I mean,
Yeah. But you can see here it's churning up through the Atlantic. It's category 2 hurricane right now. And it's been going under a lot of changes. Hasn't really been impacting or interacting with a lot of shear. It's just when these hurricanes, get so strong, they undergo what's called eye wall replacement cycle. And essentially, the eye wall collapses and it forms a new one. And that, results in a temporary drop in central pressure, a temporary drop in, characteristics. But what happens is it drops and then it, re-strengthens. And what it does in that case too is it expands the wind field. So a lot of the times the wind is very compact to the center. And when it undergoes that eye wall replacement cycle, the very strong winds expands. That makes it, even though it's not impacting some locations directly, they still might get some pretty gusty winds as the wind field start to expand. So right now it's a category 2, but forecast models do strengthen it a little bit as it makes that turn from the north and eventually off to the northeast, kind of splitting the uprights between the East Coast and Bermuda, and then the Cape Cod, and then just off to the south and east of Halifax, Nova Scotia. So looking decent, but I want to zoom in on the picture. It still has a pretty decent eye. You can see, let me grab the pointer feature here. I love tropical stuff. This is what got me into weather.
it is, we're both from the Northeast as well, so I feel like we were around it a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get to do a whole ton of it here so
Yeah.
far, so
Yeah.
it was nice doing a little bit of tropical stuff.
Yeah, you can see a pretty decent looking eye here. It's been, like I said, it's lost its eye, then it regained it. Pretty typical when these things happen. So they lose their tropical characteristics and they gain them. But overall, it's a nice one to study. When, it's not impacting anyone, you can just see how these storms play out and stuff like that. So you can see when a lot of times too, when these storms are, as they're going under tropical characteristics, they expand. Look how big this storm is. From north to south, it's 648 miles in diameter.
That is, I mean, it's hard to put that into perspective, how long that is. That's a lot of distance.
Yeah, that's a big storm. So that's a lot of time. Like I said, when it goes on these changes, it expands in coverage as well. So it's a pretty big storm, and you're seeing impacts all up and down the East Coast. You can see we have what's called high surf advisories. They kicked in, I think, yesterday at noon. You can see it covers, coast of Maine, down to the Cape Cod, the islands, my beautiful coastline of Rhode Island, really any south-facing shoreline. You're not seeing it for, Connecticut because they have Long Island ahead of it, so it's not impacting it too much in the surf, but you can see that extends all the way down New Jersey into Delaware, even into Virginia. You can see that there, and then all the way down to Florida. So you can see it's impacting a lot of people. Beaches are closed along the eastern seaboard today. So unfortunately, you can't go enjoy the beach, unfortunately, but hey,
No, not
it's all
today.
good there. But you see, look at these buoy observations. 26-foot wave a few minutes ago,
Yeah.
just to the northwest of the eye, 19 feet just to the north of there as well. Let me actually grab my camera feature, and you can see it's impacting the eastern seaboard. Even 9-foot waves just off the coast of Rhode Island, 12-foot wave already just to the south and east of Nantucket. And yeah, it's like I said, it doesn't impact you directly, but still, these things can certainly cause some impacts. You just don't want to be on jetties, rip currents, stuff like that. That's going to be the main impacts with this today, is going to be the rip current risk and the high surf. You can see that we're going to see some pretty decent wave action all the way through Friday. So I wouldn't be shocked if those high surf advisories that are in effect through, I think they're in effect through Thursday, get extended to Friday, especially for the Northeast. So for Maine, Cape Cod, the islands, wouldn't be shocked if it gets extended for a little bit. But current right now, Category 2 storm, winds 110 miles per hour, 530 miles west of Bermuda, 110 mile per hour winds. That pressure is pretty low, 943 millibars. That's a decently low pressure for a Category 2 storm. You can see the forecast models do strengthen it back to a Category 3, a low-end Category 3 major hurricane later today, and curves right through the gap between the Bermuda and the Northeast, and will start to weaken as it encounters some cooler water up there towards Halifax, Nova Scotia. So that is really the gist on Hurricane Erin. Just a beautiful storm to look at from satellite. It's not going to impact a lot of people in terms of landfall, but of course that
might be able to come back to it because we see a tropical storm forming right behind it.
Yeah.
So,
the only thing is it's probably churning up some pretty cool water, so I don't know if we'll get as strong because this one reached Category 5 strength really quickly.
They had it around like 60% chance formation for the next 7 days, so we'll see where that goes.
Something we're going to watch over the next few days, to say the least. But off the radar segment, so you were talking earlier about my vacation. Right. And you came up with this would you rather question for me specifically.
So they might not understand. I've drove all around the Northeast and stuff, so
it's brutal.
These are two very bad situations when you're driving. You really don't want either of these. So I want to know what you would rather do. Would you rather be stuck in Providence traffic every day, which can be very brutal, or have to drive the length of Route 95 through Connecticut once a week? Also not something you want to do.
So I'm going to say be stuck in Providence traffic every day because they're improving it.
Okay.
They've been doing a lot of Rhode Island's becoming the construction state.
Okay.
And they're doing a lot of work to limit the traffic. I know exactly where it is. It's right around what we call the Dunkin' Donuts Center, or they now call it the AMP, the Amica Mutual Pavilion, where the Providence Friars basketball team plays and the Providence Bruins, the AHL affiliate of the Bruins, play. They're doing a lot of work around there, so they're making it a little bit better on the traffic. So it's a lot of when they merge from what we call the 610 connector. There's a lot of traffic as it merges. So I would rather be stuck in Providence traffic every day because I know there's a lot of metro cities in Connecticut, Bridgeport, New Haven, Stamford, New London, all that are congested with traffic. Not going anywhere near that once a week. I will stay in Providence traffic every day because some days it's a little better than others.
Okay, so that's a good take.
So yeah, I'm absolutely taking that. But what's this one? What?
So do you remember the Tom Brady 12 diet where it was the most bland diet ever? It was like no pizza, no beer. Like he wouldn't eat any greasy foods, anything that had like a bunch of carbs.
Yeah.
So do you want to stick with that diet or only eat clam chowder on game days?
I've actually never had clam chowder, or as we say, clam chowder.
Chowder, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll take the Tom Brady diet. I mean, I'm trying to do that anyway.
Okay.
Definitely.
See, I'm going with. I think I'd have to go with the clam chowder. I don't know.
That's also not a bad. Like that's pretty normal up there.
Right.
Like they sell clam chowder around the area on game day. Like that wouldn't be frowned upon.
Yeah. When I always did my yearly trip out to Gloucester, it was Gloucester.
Gloucester.
Then
there you go.
It's clam chowder everywhere.
I didn't need the applause. I just did it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did it myself, but I don't know. I like clam chowder, and I could do that every game day. I feel like.
I respect that. I respect that take. And then this is when I was. Oh my goodness.
So we have our draft going on right now.
I think you're on the clock right now.
I might be on the clock. I got some time.
Yeah, I don't know if you're on the clock right now. I have to look. But what on earth did you just cook up here with this one?
So would you rather draft 2 kickers back to back?
Yep.
Or have to draft 3 defenses before round 5?
So the kickers can be any time of the draft, right? Because you didn't get specific on that one.
Right.
Because that's an easy answer for me.
Yeah, then
I'll just take 2 kickers at the end of the draft and say.
Okay, well, what if we changed it?
No. You didn't.
So
fix
for
it.
this one, you would do the 2 kickers. But what if it was like your second and third pick had to both be kickers? I should have thrown that in there.
Yeah, you should have because this is the easiest.
See, I was thinking like your first 2 picks.
This is like when Luke just posted on Twitter that who should I take first overall? Bijan, Jamar Chase, and Josh Jacobs. I commented, is this even a question? Like, this isn't even a question. I'm taking 2 kickers back to back. But if you're going a little bit more specific, I'm going to take 3 defenses before round 5, or my second and third pick are kickers. I mean, I'm punting either way. Oh, goodness.
I don't know. I
might just take the 3 defenses before round 5. That's oof.
I would probably do the defenses, but everyone seems really eager to go after those like 70-yard kicks now. I mean, I've seen.
Yeah, they're
eager,
trying
but,
to, but
once we get into the actual season, I don't think that lasts. So I'd probably go with 3 defenses, not by choice, but
yeah,
I think I'm gonna
unfortunately.
have to. Maybe I should do what Luke did and just let X decide my entire draft.
No, he put a poll up on Twitter.
Yeah, I should do that every single time it's my turn. Just, hey, X, do this for me. And then everybody can just go right through.
You should actually learn ball and
Right. That's about, yeah.
Have you tried learning ball and making your own picks?
Oh, I could do that, but it's a lot more fun to do it the
No.
other way.
Because X doesn't know what they're talking about. Actually, they kind of do, but
Wow, I can't believe you talk about our viewers like that now.
all right, we're gonna take is that the last one you put together? Yeah.
Yeah, that is it. So
All right, we're gonna take a quick break and then we'll finish up the show with a little chat, I guess. So
Right.
we'll send it over to break and then we'll be right back.